The question the public is asking is this: is the federal government not taking a wide gamble with this project, considering that you said that the first satellite disappeared into the thin air because it had a defect?
I have told you why it is. It is because confidence is not there. A lot of people would not invest in a company which has just one satellite. It's as simple logic as that. And we feel that since it is very crucial that our country, with its huge market, not talk of the African market, has enough capacity, we go ahead to ensure that we do the needful. Having done the needful, then it is, the next stage will be to get the Nigerian people.
You said you've explained the reason why the previous satellite installation is not used to full capacity.
Because it doesn't have capacity.
I have not gotten that.
Okay. You have not gotten that?
Yes. The explanation.
The explanation is, number one, because it does not have a backup, as it were, nobody would want to invest his or their data in such a company. So again, secondly, because of the confidence, because of the possibility that there might be a technical breakdown, as there was with the first satellite that Nigeria had before it was replaced.
And have we been able to get to the root of this defect?
Look, it is not our business to look for it. We are not the manufacturers. It is the same manufacturers who produced the first satellite which disappeared that produced the replacement. It didn't cost us an extra kobo as a nation to get that replacement. So why do we bother ahead about what caused it?
Doesn't this sound so convenient? Because are you ruling out the possibility that this could have been orchestrated by foreign interests to compromise our national security?
You do not have local capacity to produce a satellite. So you don't have, your choices are very limited. And it is not only in the area of satellite communications that we do not have local, competence. Even the handsets we use, what is the percentage of those produced locally? So, that issue of possibility of compromise does not arise. And it is because we want our data in Nigeria to be secure. That is why we are working very hard to ensure that every possible data in Nigeria is stored in Nigeria. The current situation where a lot of Nigerian companies, even government establishments, have their data stored in the US, in Israel, in Canada, and so on, poses the greatest threat to our national security. So in order to put a halt to that, we must ensure that we are sufficiently equipped locally.
Let me take you to the issue of local content now. What are you doing to ensure compliance? Because people have complained about lots of capital flights. Recently, 868 million naira has been recorded based on capital flights.
Well, we have a local content office within the NITDA, National Information Technology Development Agency, which is ensuring that in all areas that we have sufficiency in local production of goods and services, we discourage importation. And right now, within the federal government structure, that office must supervise procurements with regard to equipments and services. Any establishment which wants to procure devices, equipments, and even software, it must go to that office to get certification that what they want to procure from overseas is not available within Nigeria, at least in sufficiency and quality. So with that, I can say that government is working hard to ensure the protection of local industry within the ICT sector.
What are you doing to bridge the technology gap?
In talking about bridging technology gap, the first thing is to be sure that we have electricity on a regular basis. I think it's a sine qua non that we have to, ensure that it takes place. Getting our electricity situation right is also to have capital. There must be capital inflow. The environment must be such that foreign investment would feel confident that the Nigerian environment is, one that can be relied on to bring in, foreign capital.
You are saying that for this to be achieved, that the investors have to be sure that the environment is something that can be relied on?
Anybody coming to invest in an environment will want to be sure that, number one, they can repatriate their profits abroad after they have invested and made profit. Number two, that the security situation in the country is such that, can, be relied on.
Let me also quickly take you to the area of NIPOS reforms now. You've been mounting an intense advocacy to reform the NIPOS, albeit the public perception that this is a Stone Age technology. But you are determined not to throw away the baby with the bathwater, and you've been plodding with these reforms now. So how far have you gone?
When we came on board, as you would have been aware, we knew that NIPOS was in a near comatose state, arising from the fact that when GSM deported people who ordinarily would write letters and post, and consequently patronize NIPOS, did not need to be patronizing NIPOS again, because the letter that you will write, put in an envelope, put stamp on it, take it to a NIPOS facility, and perhaps the letter gets to destination a week, 2 or 3 weeks after. Today, with your handset, through either short message service or email services or WhatsApp and whatever, you send your correspondence to whatever location throughout the world, and it doesn't take a day, it doesn't take 2 days, it doesn't take a week. In real time, as you are texting, the message is getting there. So that, had a very negative impact on NIPOS services. So but we also appreciated that despite this negative impact that it has had, NIPOS, staff were still in place, NIPOS infrastructure was still in place, and we felt the best thing to do is to think out of the box. If we consider the fact that majority of Nigerians live in the rural areas, that is in most of these rural local governments, and we consider the fact that consequent upon commercial banks not available in most of these rural areas, it means majority of Nigerians are financially excluded in their day-to-day lives. We therefore felt that we could utilize NIPOS to fill the gap that non-availability of commercial banking services constitute in the rural areas. So we are now thinking of establishing what will become NIPOS banking and insurance services, which we are taking a cue on this from a number of countries, particularly China, which has Postbank. We believe that if we are able to establish such in Nigeria, then even the man in the village will be able to have a semblance of commercial banking services. This would include ability to save.
You may also join in this conversation by sending us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Coming up on Question Time, setting the record straight on Nigeria's cybersecurity strategy.